Today, from NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas, it's Week 16 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Houston Texans taking on the Las Vegas Raiders.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. It is Week 16 in the NFL, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And the Raiders pick it up. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Well, how's that for an early storyline? Some people are asking the ushers where their seat is, and boom, we've got a score on the board, a fumble return on the opening kickoff.
And this is where all the tailgating groups are looking at each other saying, maybe we need to get to the stadium just a little bit earlier next time.
But, man, those bratwursts, they're good, Charles. They're good. And now here is the offense onto the field as their first involvement will be a 2-point conversion attempt. They'll try and run it up the middle. And he will get in to make it 8-0. Tell you what, they're not messing around. You get the quick touchdown, and then you go for 2 to go up 8-0 here on the road.
In a sense, they hit him with a big shot right away. You don't throw a jab after you throw the haymaker, right? Go ahead and go for 2. They did. They're in control.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their third-year quarterback.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. Opening play, and Stroud will throw it. That one complete. It's Tank Dell. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it for the first time with Dameon Pierce. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Well, the numbers for Pierce last week, 14 carries, 74 yards.
A key component of his team's offense. He will certainly stay in that role if he keeps producing like this each week. Expect him to make a run and not only matching, but exceeding those numbers as this one goes on.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Stroud. He'll get this into the hands of Nico Collins. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. They'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10. Throw over the middle is taken in by Dell. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now Stroud. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Raiders will take over here at their own 14-yard line. So out comes the offense now with a long field ahead of them. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie, one of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And he gets this to the 35, good for a gain of 5. The Raiders at 9-5 now on the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
Well, obviously they never want to see penalties on that defense, but this one a little bit more significant there on the downfield pass play.
And coaches preach it all the time. You can't put yourself in that kind of position if you're the defender. You've got to stay in a spot far downfield where you can play the ball without creating extra contact.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. And between the last 2 plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Keep in mind they can still get a first down here as they come up on 2nd and inches. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. A great play there with his 14th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think we call that season's greetings right there. He came up, pow, knocked him for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. In motion right, that's Collins. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And not much room to speak of. He'll get about 3 up to the 41. Here now a 3rd down and 8. And Stroud now to throw. Got his man, Dell. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is going to have the Raiders' first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. Looking to throw. That one's complete out to Michael Mayer. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
He'll air this one out deep for Davis. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. And now they'll shift things around. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's why you spend a 1st-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on. Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away at incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
They'll try to run this one in. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3. They'll try and run for it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Raiders are able to add on to their first half lead. So 4th and goal. Their head coach gave that offensive line one more chance to punch it in, and this time they were successful.
They certainly paid off the coach's confidence, didn't they? And how about the fact that they stayed with the ground game? Because a lot of times in that situation, partner, we see teams try and roll the quarterback out, give him a little run-pass option, and treat it like a 2-point conversion play. In this case, they went with a little bit more power and got it done.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Texans with the football here late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring him in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Stroud now on 1st and 10. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Stroud to the air on 1st and 10. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he's got this down to the 35. Another connection between the two. This one good for 12 and a first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And that will line up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end. Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the 3rd quarter. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Back to throw here. He's got his big wide receiver complete. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard, need to take advantage of those opportunities, and this is a good one right in front of them.
28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. In motion right, that's Collins. 1st and 10, it's Pierce. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Stroud to throw it. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. Second down. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And 3rd and 1 now. Stroud working out of the gun. That is caught, and he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Stroud out of the gun here. Over the middle, complete. That's Schultz. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult.
Touchdown, Texans. Dameon Pierce with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. Stroud's going to try to throw for the conversion. And he's going to get in for the score. And the lead now cut to 14. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw with this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
Yeah, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. They'll set up a throw. And that is caught. It's Davis. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 23. A good pickup there of 20 yards. They'll look to throw again. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Now a 2nd and 10. Here's a give up the middle. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Well, things obviously not going their way. Trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that penalty going to go ahead and give the other side some extra yardage.
We all know it's an intense game and things can get heated out there. That's part of the battle. But bottom line, you got to keep your cool. That was not an example of doing that.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Touchdown, Raiders! A great play there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Raiders look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. Stroud looking to throw. That's caught again by Schultz. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Throwing now is Stroud. Caught left side. Here's Dell. Touchdown, Houston. Take Dell. 33 yards. And the Texans have got it back to a two-score game here in the fourth. They'll look to throw. And he's got it for the two-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Right back to him on first down. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. So from the 22, here's 2nd and 2. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. That one looks like he'll throw here. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Gabriel Davis from 4 yards out. And the Raiders are closing in on win number 10 as they extend this fourth quarter lead. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. We're facing a big fourth quarter deficit here. Things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season. But in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. 1st and 10, it's Stroud. Man open. That's Calvin Ridley. Touchdown, Houston. Calvin Ridley, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans get a bit closer. Stroud to throw it. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
20, 10, touchdown. A great effort there. 42 yards. And the Raiders tack on another score as they have dominated this fourth quarter. Now the Raider offense will stay out there as they'll line up to go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth. And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Here's Stroud. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's out of bounds. Able to take this one up to the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Again, it's Stroud. That's complete to Dell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now they got to get to the line quickly. On 1st down, here's Stroud. Catch is made. It's Schultz on the out route. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. A shotgun snap to Stroud. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Dalton Schultz, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Again, he'll drop to throw. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Going for the knockout punch. They'll try and run. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Oh, none of that.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Las Vegas, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they're guaranteed now a sub-500 season as they fall to 6-9. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. So long from Houston.